TANZOS, or Te Pae Kōkako, is a program that is both vocational and educational. We have a wonderful two-pronged structure where we provide this really comprehensive training at an international level, and we're forging these international connections which are vital for a career in opera.
I knew that we had this talent in New Zealand and we needed to nurture it here. It's going to be the most amazing program right here in New Zealand.
Anyone who wants to choose this as a profession needs to be really clear about their why. It's incredibly hard work and it's a hard career. You've also got to be yearning to give your interpretation, to have something to say, and that's got to motivate you day by day to do the work.
Through this program, I've grown not just as a performer, but as a person as well.
My perspective on the career has changed quite drastically. I think prior to this year, I was scared, whereas now I feel prepared.
We are bringing the rest of the world to New Zealand so that these students have a taste, really, of what will be expected of them once they leave the country, but also the level at which they should be working, that intensity of coaching and the breadth of the coaching that they would be receiving if they were on a young artist program or a studio or a conservatoire overseas. So they will be receiving everything that they would receive whilst there, and from some of the same people, which is a really exciting thing. It'll also give them exposure to really key people in the industry so that they can feel like they're already on a little bit of a step up once they get overseas.
I think it's vital to have a program like this in New Zealand because it's a training ground, it's a safe environment for them to explore, to develop, and then have the confidence to then go out and conquer the rest of the world.
From day one, I felt really welcomed into the program and into the university.
I think I've learned obviously a lot of technical things, but also how to work with coaches, relationships with those coaches and how they work. And I've learned a lot about the business of singing and what it takes to be a performer.
So it's very important for students to take ownership of their own voice and of the process of learning, giving them tools and allowing them to experiment and to expand their artistic abilities on their own. If you've done this kind of work, then you know exactly what you're going to be doing in every single bar.
So in addition to the international guests coming to us here at Waikato, we send our artists out on residencies. And that can include professional engagements as well with companies. We have this wonderful relationship with New Zealand Opera. Also, we have international residencies with Opera Australia, and we had a wonderful residency with them for 2 weeks in June, where we had, alongside their own young artists, group classes, and we viewed all of the rehearsals, the 3 productions that were rehearsing or on stage at the time. They were able to view at various points of the process, which was incredibly valuable to them. And at the end of the 2 weeks, they were able to have an audition on the stage at the Sydney Opera House, which they were just blown away by.
Well, we got to perform on the Sydney Opera House stage, which is the biggest stage I've ever performed on, and so every other performance seems less scary.
The other thing that comes out of these residencies is the growth and confidence of the students when they realise that actually it's not so far out of their reach.
Being here at Opera Australia has really given me a fresh perspective as to what it can look like and how much work that the arts can generate.
I feel like because the more I'm learning about the behind the scenes and all the little nitty-gritty stuff, I fall in love with it even more, and you'd think it would ruin the magic, but it's just even more magical.
As in all art forms that are at a higher level, there is a lot of money involved. So the the directors have to be really careful at who they hire. So it's difficult to penetrate into the circle of people that work. You might be ready, but you never find that door. A program like this gives the opportunity to a singer to know where the door is.
There's been huge growth in the most profound ways as people, as artists, as creatives, in the way and how they sing, what they sing. They're having their soul in their sound now. It is at a different level than when they came.
I think, to me, TANZOS was a very special program because it has not only allowed me to develop my skills as a musician, it has also given me the confidence to come out of my shell.
Just a real big boost of knowing that I do know what I'm doing and that people have given me good information and I can trust myself and trust what they've said.
I think the biggest growth for me throughout this year at TANZOS has been in my confidence and my self-belief, and knowing that I've got a team that I can fall back on for support if I need them, but also feeling strong enough to look after myself.
A really big positive for me is consistency. I've been able to constantly keep my voice conditioned throughout this whole year, and it's been so rewarding. I'm really prepared to just shoot off come the end of this year.
So the ways I've grown is both spiritually, mentally and physically, but I think technically is one of the biggest growth moments for me.
Now that I've completed the program, I feel confident and I feel that I've got everything that I need to make the right decisions to get to the places that I want to go to.
I feel now, in my 81st year now, that my life has culminated now in this program right here in New Zealand that I knew was possible 20 odd years ago. We can train them here and we can bring the world to look at them here.